Hi everyone, I'm here today with my May book haul. Now it's been a while since I've done a book haul, but I just felt like filming one, so I thought, why not? So I've got 39 books to show you. 8 of those I bought myself for my Kindle, and the other 31 are books from NetGalley. Now the first 8 books I'm going to show you are the ones that I bought, and I bought each of these books for just 99p, which is just an absolute bargain. I am a bargain shopper. I will only buy books most of the time. Actually, no, they weren't all 99p. All but one of these were 99p. So the first book I want to show you today is The Return by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and this is the first book in the Titan series. Now, I've never read any of Jennifer L. Armentrout's books, but I do own quite a few now. I've heard quite good things about everything that she's written, so whenever I notice something at 99p, I just buy it and I'll read them eventually. Just eventually is the word. Then the next 4 books I have to show you are all part of a series, and I got each one of these for 99p, as I said earlier. So I already have the first book in the series, so I bought The Son of Neptune by Rick Riordan, The Mark of Athena by Rick Riordan, The House of Hades by Rick Riordan, and also The Blood of Olympus, again by Rick Riordan. And as I said, I already own the first book. I also already own the whole of the Percy Jackson series, but I've never actually read it. So at some point I know I really need to do this, so at least now I've got all these books lined up and I can just crack on with them all. The next book I have to show you is Delirium by Lauren Oliver. I actually own one other Lauren Oliver book somewhere. I've heard great things about her books. I've never read any, but at least now I have this one, which would be a great place to start if I wanted to. Another book I bought last month was Kiss Kiss by Roald Dahl. As you will know if you watch my channel, I've been slowly buddy reading through every single book that Roald Dahl has ever written, along with Caris. And this was the book that we needed to read in May, along with James and the Giant Peach. I have a copy of James and the Giant Peach, so I just needed to pick this one up. And I've not finished it yet. We're going to stretch this one into June as well, along with reading Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But this one, I'm enjoying a heck of a lot more than the one that we read a couple of months ago, which was Someone Like You. Didn't really get on with that one, but this one is his adult story collection, and they're all quite dark and twisted, and the ones I've read so far I've really enjoyed. I think it's a great collection so far, but I'll have to see how it goes. Then I have got Under the Paw, Confessions of a Catman by Tom Cox. Now, someone will have recommended this to me at some point. I don't remember who, but someone will have done, and probably because I really read and enjoyed the Street Cat Named Bob books, as this one is also a non-fiction book. And I think this guy owns multiple cats and he just writes down what it's like to live with them. So now I want to move on to all the NetGalley books that I picked up last month. Now, many of these you probably won't have heard of as they haven't come out yet, but I will give the information for each book, and I will also let you know which publisher I got them from. I got all of these free in return for an honest review. So the first book we have is The Night Stalker by Robert Brindza. I think that's how you say it. And I picked this one up because it is a mystery thriller kind of novel, and I enjoy those sort of books so much. And this book actually came out yesterday, and it's published by Bookachaw, which are an amazing publishing house. I absolutely love most of their books. And this is also the second novel from this author, the first one being The Girl in the Ice Witch. A lot of people have been reading and loving this year, and I do have it, I just haven't read it yet. So hopefully I can just read both of these as quick as possible because they both look amazing. The next book I have is due to be published in September, 8th of September to be precise. And this one is a non-fiction horror called Haunted Bridges. And this one was published from, I feel a bit stupid, I don't really know how to say this publisher. Elwyn Worldwide, I think? Something like that. Anyway, I actually quite enjoy reading non-fiction, and this ties in everything that I enjoy together, so I've got scariness and non-fiction, which makes it that bit more scary for me. Next we have No Witness But the Moon, and this is being published by Kensington Books. This one is due out on the 25th of October this year, and this one is also a thriller mystery kind of novel, which I struggle to pass up. And it's been blurbed by Lee Child as a tremendous talent, so I'm really excited to get to this one. Then we have A Change of Heart by Sonali Dev, and this one is also published by Kensington Books, and this one comes out the 27th of September. And I think this book is about a doctor who goes to some sort of slum in Mumbai, and I think it's one of those really sort of heartbreaking books that are quite rewarding to read but really break you. The next book I have is I Will Send Rain by Ray Meadows. And this is being published by Henry Holt and Company, and this one is due out on the 9th of August. And this book is about a woman who is fighting for her family's survival during something called the Dust Bowl. Now I don't actually know what that is, but it's historical fiction and I love historical fiction, so what better way for me to learn what that actually is while also enjoying a brilliant novel. Next we have By Gaslight by Stephen Price. And this book is due out on the 4th of October. And this one really piqued my interest because it's about Victorian London 3 years before the Jack the Ripper killings, and that just everything that I could want out of a mystery book right there. I absolutely love Victorian England, especially around just before and after around Jack the Ripper time. And this is also a mystery novel about some killings, but it's not Jack the Ripper because it's too early. Next I have The Wangs versus the World. And this is also due to be published on the 4th of October. And this one is blurbed as being a hilarious debut about a wealthy but fractured Chinese family who had it all, but it seems they no longer do. And they lose everything, and then it's about a road trip that they take across America where they bond and get themselves back together. Then we have a graphic novel, and this one is called White Sand, and it's by Brandon Sanderson. And I've actually already read this book, so I'll leave a link to the review down below. This one comes out on the 5th of July and is being published by Diamond Book Distributors. I don't want to put people off, but I wasn't a fan of this one overall. And yeah, as I said, if you're interested, check out my written review down below. Next we have The 100 Lies of Lizzie Lovett, and this one isn't out until January 2017. And this is being published by Sourcebooks Fire. And this is a YA novel, and I'm not going to bother telling you even what this one's about. It's so far away, you're going to have to wait ages and ages to pick this one up. Next we have Wild Witch Wildfire Volume 1. I really feel like I should have looked up these names before I filmed this video. How on earth do you say that name? The cover's on the screen. And this is being published the 6th of September by Pushkin Press. And I'm not really sure what this one's about, to be honest. I know that it's a YA, and to be honest, I just saw the cover and was like, that looks cool. Next we have Tutankhamun's Curse Solved by I.L. Cohen, and this one is being published by New Research. And this is a non-fiction, and I absolutely adore non-fiction, and this one is actually already out. It came out on the 3rd of May. And of course this is all about the curse that surrounds Tutankhamun's tomb, and I'm assuming that they've got some sort of new information to put on this, otherwise why would they bother writing the book? But who knows, when I've read it I will let you know. Next we have The Neverland Wars by Audrey Greathouse, and this is being published by Clean Teen Publishing, and this one came out on the 9th of May. And this is obviously some sort of Peter Pan retelling, and I've seen a couple of reviews about this book and they're quite mixed. One I saw really didn't enjoy it all that much, so I'm hoping that I enjoy it a bit more. Next we have a book that I grabbed because I just thought the cover was absolutely stunning. I mean, just look at that. This is The Stars at October Bend by Glenda Millard. And this is being published by Old Barn Books. And this is about someone who has a brain injury because of some sort of assault that they went through. That's as much as I know. Next we have The Hawkweed Prophecy by Irina Brignall. And this is being published by Weinstein Books. And this is a YA novel that is due to come out on the 6th of September. And I think it's something about people meeting and about friendship or relationships and betrayal and all that kind of thing. Then we have Vasa or Vasa in the Night by Sarah Porter, and this is another mystery thriller novel, and this is actually a children's book, or teens, but probably more children's I think. And this is being published by Tor, and it has been blurbed by Lee Bardugo. Then we have The Life of the Elves by Muriel Barbary, and this is being published by Gallic Books, and it came out on the 3rd of May. And this is the same author who wrote The Elegance of the Hedgehog, and I do own this book, but again, story of my life, I've not actually yet read it. But all the same, it made this book definitely on my radar, so I just had to pick it up. Then we have Blonde Ice, and this is being published by Atria Books, and the author's name is R.G. Belsky. And this is another mystery thriller novel, Then we have All These Perfect Strangers by Aoife Clifford, and this is being published by Random House and is due out on the 12th of July. And this has been mentioned as being similar to The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Again, I own this book, haven't read it. Then we have Let Me Tell You About a Man I Knew by Susan Fletcher. And this is being published by Little Brown UK and actually came out yesterday. And this is a historical fiction set in 1889, though I can't remember which country. Then we have The Darkest Light, and this is being published by Kensington Books. Why do I keep forgetting to say the author names? The author of this book is Pintip Dunn, and this is due out on the 28th of June. And this is a novel about a young woman whose mother commits suicide. Next we have Dancing in the Rain by Lynn Joseph, and this is being published by Blue Moon Publishing and it's due out on the 15th of July. And this is another YA novel. And apparently it's about this girl who has a really strong imagination, and I don't actually know much more than that. Then we have The Seeker by S.G. McLean, and this has been published by Quercus Books and actually came out on the 19th of May. And of course this is another mystery thriller, which is a genre I love. Next we have Faithful by Alice Hoffman, and this is being published by Simon & Schuster. And this is an author whose works I've heard a lot about. I've not actually read any yet, but I've heard great things about her writing, so I really wanted to just check something out by her. I don't really know what it's about. I'm going to go into it quite blind, but I'm hoping I like it. Next we have Lawyer for the Cat by Lee Robinson, and this is the second book in a sort of series, but not really, about a lady who is a lawyer. The last book was Lawyer for the Dog, and I read and reviewed that book last year and I absolutely loved it. It was one of my favourite books of the year. I thought it was great. It was such a cute combination between animals and mystery and all that, and I just thought it was great. And so I jumped at the chance to read and review this second book, which obviously focuses on something to do with a cat. Now, I've not looked up much more than that, but I've been anticipating this book so highly ever since I found out that there was going to be a second book, so I will definitely be picking this one up very soon. And this one is being published by Bonnier Publishing. Next we have The Sister by Louise Jensen, and this is published by Bookouture and is due out on the 7th of July. And this is another mystery psychological thriller kind of book, and it's actually noted as for being for fans of Girl on the Train, which I've not read yet. I do own, but I've not read it yet. I Let You Go and The Girl with No Past. I own all three of those. Not read them. I really feel like I should probably stop acquiring books and just read what I have. It'll probably keep me going about 20 years anyway. Now we have In the Hope of Memories by Olivia Rivers. And this is being published by Red Sparrows Press, and it's a YA novel, and it was published back in March. And I'm going to stop saying so much about the books because I feel like this video is going on forever. I'm getting neck ache and I've still got so many books to go through. Next we have Escape to Ash Island, and this is the first book in a series. I'm not sure how many books there's going to be in the series, but it's being called the Generation Havoc series. And this is by J.H. Lucas. Then we have You Before Anyone Else by Julie Cross and Mark Perini. And this is being published by Source Books Fire, and it looks like a typical YA contemporary. Then we have The Kept Woman by Karen Slaughter. Then we have The Fire Child by S.K. Tremaine. Then we have My Sister's Secret by Tracy Buchanan. Then we have The Nursing Fox by Jim Ditchfield. Next we have The Light of Paris by Eleanor Brown, and this is also being published by HarperCollins. Then we have Woman of the Hour by Jane Lythell. Then we have The Haunted Stepsister by Medea Sharif. Next we have The Unmoving Sky by K.L. Hallam. Then we have The Witch's List by Andrew Cairns. And finally we have Smoke by Dan Villetta. And I can't remember what this one's about at all, but the cover of this one absolutely just pulled me in straight. I was like, oh my god. And then I read the description and I remember being really interested in it, but I can't remember what it's about right now. So there we have it. I now have neck ache. If you've sat watching all the way till the end, well done. Let me know what you think of these books. Let me know if there's any you're desperate for me to pick up sooner rather than later. I will leave links to reviews of any that I've got reviews for down below, so please check those out if you want to see more on my thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more bookish videos from me. I do book reviews, wrap-ups, book tags, book hauls, and I post videos every Wednesday, Friday and Sunday. Thank you very much again for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.